Come to be back.
Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
so?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be back,
Yeah.
Nicolas. Yeah, thank you so much again for
Yeah.
having time to
Yeah.
speak with me.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So to hop right into it, the
Yep.
first question that I have for you
Yep.
today is I wanted you to talk to me a little bit more about the origin
Yep.
of Igloo Fest.
Yep.
This is a festival in the middle of winter, not something you hear about so often.
Yep.
When you were starting this, that was kind of a disruptive idea.
Yep.
Right? People might have said, I don't know, maybe this city was right on board right away, but right now you've established, you have major headliners coming to play, but when you started this event with the other founders,
Yep.
what were some of the biggest hurdles to make this a reality?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure people thought, you want to party in the winter? Like, right? Like this,
Yeah.
how, there might have been so many concerns.
Yeah.
So what were some of that initial hurdles that you faced?
First of all, it was a crazy, silly idea. For people who don't know it, we started Picnic Electronic, which was a summertime event, a weekly, every Sunday
Yeah.
at the Parc Jean Drapeau. So in 2003, so it was to take the electronic music out of his, I would say, natural environment.
Yeah.
Raves, after hours, at night, with smoke and drugs and everything, and all those prejudices that people have around electronic music.
Yeah.
And what we wanted at the time is to take that music and just expose people to it and democratize the electronic music. So that was the first thought we had. So we started the Picnic Electronic, and after a few seasons, we just saw that people just enjoy being outside during the daytime
Yeah.
and in another concept and have families, youngsters, people just like electronic music. And at some point, I said, okay, we're doing that summer stuff. Let's say, okay, let's do something different. We've done some Sugar Shack events for 5 years. It was kind of a middle.
It was like the daytime igloo, right?
Yeah, no, but it was not the daytime. It was Sugar Shack. So springtime,
Yeah.
with the maple syrup and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So it
All
was
thick,
in a
yeah.
parking lot and everything. So we were already thinking of taking that concept and transpose it in a different context.
Yeah.
And at some point during a meeting, we had the idea. I said, okay, let's do something during the winter. We all laughed. I said, why not doing it outside? But after a while, I said, there's nothing happening during the winter outside for youngsters. The idea was, okay, let's do something different. Our, I would say, challenge was to take people out and enjoy in the winter. But that was our challenge. I said, okay, we'll do it. And what's the best reason for people to go out? Do the party. And
course.
that's how it started. So the first, I would say, there was an ancestor of Picnic Electronic, which was Picnic Electronic des Neiges. So which
okay.
was the snow picnic. So I would say winter picnic electronic. We've done it twice
Wow.
before becoming Igloo Fest. So in 2007, we had an offer from the Old Port of Montreal doing an event with electronic music, and that's how it started. First weekend, the first year, the first edition, it was 2 nights. We got 2,000 people per night, and we knew at that time that was
You're onto
something. Yeah, on something.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like I said, there's nothing happening during wintertime. Of course, you can go see in venues, shows, bars, and everything, but outside, there was nothing. And people were looking for that. They were keen. They were willing to go outside and enjoy. That's how it started. And the next year we had 2 weekends. The year after, 3 weekends, and that's how it built up.
Keeps growing.
Yeah, growing until today.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, it was a silly idea at first.
Yeah,
but people
fair.
jumped in, and we were lucky to
Yeah.
have that idea and just make it real.
Totally.
Yeah, and people jumped in the idea, and that's how we construct from over there.
Yeah,
Right?
it was
From
cool
there.
because it's like you identified there was a need, there was a desire,
Yeah.
and already first weekend
Yeah.
sold it out, 2,000 people. Like
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
One of the things we spoke about last time, in
Yeah.
2018, you mentioned that it had been 4 years since you had been using the Eco Cup
Yeah.
process,
Yeah.
and you had diverted 300,000
Yeah.
cups from waste stream, which
Yeah.
is also, congratulations, that's a huge accomplishment for pushing sustainability.
Yeah.
Again, being one of the first to adopt EcoCup.
Yeah.
Talk to me now.
And drag all those events that nowadays do it as well.
So many larger scale events
Yeah.
have adopted that approach. So it's been 6 years since then.
Yeah.
Talk to me now about sustainability here. How have you continued? You know, I see this as a prime example as one of the cups.
Yeah.
But also, what else are you doing? How have you continued to adopt
Yeah.
that program, continue to grow that program? I don't know if you can speak to the numbers,
Yep.
but what else are you being cognizant of
Yeah.
for
What's the
sustainability
next step?
on site?
Yeah. I have to be honest, the pandemic has been hard.
For sure.
It was tough because, of course,
Reusing things.
we were not doing events at first,
Yeah.
but and the team changed a lot because sustainability is not only with the cops and stuff on the team. There's the economic side, there's the social side as well, and the social side did grow up over the last 5 years, and that's more even, I would say, important in the involvement that we have.
Yeah.
So we're doing some charity stuff, so providing some equipment for free that we have to other events or charities as well. So yeah, of course, we stick to that. During the summertime, we have also those buckets. And
course,
I would say the next step is we're working on the food side of it.
Okay.
So it's not done yet, but working for picnic and I would say someday at Igloo Fest as well is to have those refundable, I would say, dish, platters and everything. That's what we're working on, but it will take some years for, I would say, the whole industry to be able to do it, but working alongside partners, let's say, okay, what's the next step in order to reduce what an event will generate, of course.
Of course, yeah. And it's cool to see as well, repurposing shipping containers, putting the speakers in there,
Yeah.
like having that idea of circularity, seeing
Yeah.
that in action, both here when it comes to just small scale, but also on the big scale, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
size, the structure of it. I hope you can also talk to me about health and safety, both for staff, for patrons,
Yeah.
right? Of course, this is
Yeah.
an outdoor festival in the
Yeah.
winter.
Yeah.
Things can come up, you know, we bring a lot of people together, fights, things like this. What are you doing to make sure from a management place
Yeah.
that you're preventing any assaults,
Yeah.
any access of weapons? You know, so far we've all, you know, everyone I came with has said and has consistently said over the years, Igloo Fest, you guys are on top of management, you're
Yeah,
well
but still.
organized. But what else can you speak to assure people that this is a safe space?
There's always challenges, of course, because you don't control what people will inhale, drops and everything. So the first thing is to have those teams be ready. Of course, we have security outside. They're trained to be able to intervene in different kind of stuff. We have, of course, the first aid team. There's always a doctor on site during our event.
Amazing.
Of course, but we're going, I would say, a bit further as well. For, I would say, several years, working with the GRIP, which is a group that intervene for people who wants to do the party and just to be able to know exactly what will be, I would say, the possibilities, the consequences on taking some drugs, alcohol, mix of everything. So they're on site. There's a booth in the pavilion, but they have a team that goes on site as well and look at people.
Walks around.
Yeah, walks around, but
make sure people are okay.
but there's some charts with what you take and what you mix and everything. Even though if you're on La Plage Jacques Cartier, so just right across the street, in order for people to prepare and get ready. Last year they had a project and for people who wants to test their drug. Okay, it was not on site; it was just outside the site.
Yeah.
For Igloo Fest and for picnic as well, and for people who wants to make it sure that it's a proper thing to take. So like I said, we don't have the control on everything.
Yeah.
But what you want is to have procedures and peoples and teams in order to be able to follow people and help them and to mitigate the risk.
Yeah.
That's our responsibility. So there's always, like I said, the first aid teams around it, our security. We do have a safe space for people who have some difficulties with other festival goers who sometimes, we know sometimes during events people takes alcohol and drugs and they can't manage themselves. So we have teams who look at the people, and like I said, you can't control. There's always some people going a bit too far, but at least we have some resources to be able to help them.
Okay. No, thank you for speaking to that. That's really assuring to hear, and just about the increased presence, both a safe space as well for people to go to if they are feeling well, but having people moving around on the floor, looking to make sure everyone's okay, people are partying.
Yeah,
That's
of course,
awesome.
but when you're I would say when we're sold out, there's 11,000 people, 500 people on site. But still, that's something we work on, and we need to we're improving every year.
Yeah.
But there's always some situations sometimes. But you need to have those procedures to be able to react and be able to take care and take care of people. Yeah. But not only crisis, because crisis could be all kinds of things. I'd say the human side of it, it's really important, and nowadays it's something we need to focus on.
Totally. No, thank you for speaking to that. And so, almost wrapping things up here.
Yeah.
Another question in regards to the growth of Igloo Fest. You spoke there. It started 2 weekends, then 3 weekends. Moving forward, right? Now you're doing, a ski après or like after Igloo, and Picnic Electronique is also global. There's Picnic Barcelona, there's Picnic in Australia. What does the next 10 to 20 years look like? Where would you want to see this brand go?
I'd say, as for Igloo Fest, I'd say beyond 4 weekends, I would say that's enough. I'd say the market is saturated with 4 weekends, 12 nights. We're doing day events, so Igloo Fest, which is more for families, it's all free. From 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. I came today with my family, with my kids. There was 7,000 people who came across. So that's really cool. And the after parties, the après ski, in venues, outside bars afterwards. We want people to enjoy and feel Igloo Fest during daytime and nighttime as well. We start in Quebec City. The first one was really cool, smaller, so you have that really Igloo Fest Montreal spirit in a smaller scale, but that's really cool with good bookings. But what we want, there's I would say a winter, tourism strategy, because during the summertime, it's booked. There's a lot of people. We're known in Montreal and in Quebec for festivals as well. But what we want during the winter time is to be able for people to go from Montreal and elsewhere in Quebec from mid-January to March. So 4 weeks in Montreal, Quebec afterwards to go up to mid-March. So that's our strategy. So working on for the next year. Of course, we'd like to do Igloo Fest in other countries, maybe elsewhere in Canada as well. Working on to be able to, expose people and export that vibe, that feeling. Of course, it needs to be winter, so it needs to be cold enough. But nowadays, it's pretty tough. Even in Montreal, it was a really mild winter this year. But it will be a record edition anyhow. Because after the pandemic, we saw it last year. We had 100,000 people. They're looking to something to go out, enjoy, just forget what happened all those 3 years, and just have a good time. And we're happy. We'll break that record this year.
Amazing.
So that's what we're aiming. What we want is that's our very first mission for people to tame the winter. Stop complaining, go outside, enjoy, have a good time, and
Perfect. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, thank you again so much for your time, for
Yep.
speaking with me, and for continuing to be, that light in the winter for people to come out
Thanks.
and to have a great time.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your time as always, Nicolas. And
Yeah.
same time again next year, huh?
Yeah, come back next year?
Come back next year.
Yeah,
of
I hope
course.
so.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, anytime.
that's cool.
Yeah.